Hi and welcome to No Cheese. Today we're going to cook Swedish chicken curry. The first step is to cook a chicken stock. So that's what we're going to do now, to actually cook the chicken as well. The chicken should cook in 1 hour with these vegetables and spices. Then the chicken will be put up and we remove the meat. We put the rest of the chicken down again to the pan and then cook it for 2 hours more. So actually 3 hours to make the chicken stock. The first I will begin with is to cook some water, 3 liters of water. And some heat to make it boil. The next thing is we're going to prepare the chicken, and the first is to actually clean the chicken, which I have already done. The tail of the chicken, we will not have this in our chicken stock. The next thing is to put this chicken into this where it should boil. The next step is to prepare the leek. And I will use half of this leek, about this I will use, and I will wash it a little bit, because I don't like to have some gravel and other things. You see inside here, I have to wash this so it will be clean. This I'm going to chop in smaller pieces. Next is the carrots, and I like to have the outer pieces within, but I will remove this a little bit so it will be a little bit nicer. Like this. And this going down like this. The next is the celery stick. I'm going to wash it. Maybe this I'm going to remove and then divide it into smaller pieces. Then the onion. I'm going to boil this chicken with this outside of the onion, but I'm going to remove the lower part. When we use the outer skin of the onion, it will give a nice color to the chicken stock. So here you can see. Going to put in this. The next thing is the garlic, and I'm going to use 3 cloves of garlic. Now it's this garlic quite small, so I will use everything of this. Now all the garlic is in this. I now should add some thyme, fresh thyme, 2 bay leaves and 15 corns of black pepper. Now the water has begun to boil, and it's time to put it in this one. It must hide the chicken, that is important. So now everything is hot, and it will boil very fast now. Now it's going to boil for 1 hour. Not hard boiling, soft boiling. And you can check that every spices is under the water surface. And put this on. 1 hour after it starts boiling. Now it has begin boiling, and I have put the stove to low heat. It will be boiling with low heat for 1 hour with this on. Now the chicken has been boiling for 1 hour, and now we're going to pick it up and make it rest for 30 minutes to be a little bit more cool when we're going to remove the meat. We don't like to have it too warm. Remove some herbs back into the bowl. And I will also turn off the stove at this point. Rest for 30 minutes. Then pick the meat. Then the rest of the chicken going back into the stock, and it will boil for 2 hours more. Now the meat from the chicken is separated. It's very important to remove this bone from the breast of the chicken. Now it's time to put back this into the bowl and continue cooking for 2 hours. Put on, make it to boil again. Also now going to boil rice. We're going to have 3 deciliter of rice. And 6 deciliter of water. Now going to begin boil. So it not fasten in the bottom of the bowl. Last time I did this dish, I have saved chicken stock that have boiled for 3 hours to have it next time I make this dish. So now I have already this stock that have been cooked for 3 hours. If you don't have this already, you can take chicken stock that have been cooked for only 1 hour to use in the dish. But it will be much better if you use stock that have boiled for 3 hours. So now I'm going to heat this up so I can use it in this. I forget to say that this chicken meat is placed in the same bowl that it will be served in. Now it's time to cut the onion. Actually now we're going to make the sauce. And for this we need 2 onions. So I will begin to slice this and I'm going to chop these onions. The rice is boiling now. No, it's not boiling yet. And this not boiling yet either. And now I'm going to chop this. Now the rice has begun boiling, so now we have to boil it for 20 minutes. Before I begin chopping all these onions, I will put on 1 more frying pan to fry these onions. I have to turn on some heat on the frying pan. I should also use 4 cloves of garlic, so I have to prepare this also. To lower the heat a little bit on both this and this. And as always, I remove this inside because it's too much garlic taste. I like the nice garlic taste only. I think that's okay. Now I continue chopping these onions and garlic. chicken stock is quite finished to use, so I turn the heat off. When you make the sauce, you can make so much sauce you want, so it fits your need. I think it's good to have quite much sauce. If you like to do half amount of sauce, you actually half the ingredients. Now I think I'm finished with the chopping of the onion. I'm going to wash my hands a little bit. Check the rice. Now it's time to prepare the spices that I'm going to make the curry spice blend for this curry. So I'm going to blend this in this paper cup. First I'm gonna need 4 teaspoons of coriander seeds. Then I'm gonna use 1.5 teaspoon fenugreek seeds. Maybe a little bit more than 1.5. And then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. I'm also gonna use 2 teaspoons of black peppercorns. Now I'm going to mix the spices. Maybe I will mix it a little bit more. Now I'm gonna roast this in the frying pan. And I increase the heat a little bit. The goal is now that the spices should smoke from this, and that weaken up the taste of the spices when roasting them like this. Now you see the smoke is coming from the spices. When it's coming smoke from the spices, the roasting is finished. I think this is enough. And I'm gonna put the spices into this paper. Now it's time to fry the onions and garlic. I'm going to fry the onions in butter, and I'm going to fry them for about 2 minutes. Now the rice is finished. I'm going to put this to rest a little bit. Actually, I'm frying these onions for 5 minutes. And I'm going to use 4 teaspoons of this mix. And then I'm going to use next to 1 teaspoon of cumin. And now the spice is going to fry a little bit with the onions to wake up the taste in the spices. I'm also going to add next to 2 tablespoons of turmeric. I think that was quite enough, a little bit more in there. But it's not 2 whole tablespoons. I'm gonna stir this. Lower the temperature. Before I had medium heat, now I'm using low heat. Now it's time to add 6 deciliters of chicken stock. But first I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of flour. That's because it's thickening the sauce. And now I add 6 deciliters of chicken stock. Now I increase the heat a little bit to medium heat. Now I'm gonna add 3 deciliter of cream and 3 deciliter of milk. Now it's going to begin boiling. I lower the heat a little bit to low heat again. You can use 6 deciliter of cream if you want and no milk, but these are a little bit more healthy to use half cream, half milk. Now it's gonna boil up and boil for 10 minutes. So I increase the heat again to medium heat. Can look at the chicken stock. I think it's about 1 hour left, so it is finished. I also forget to add 2 milliliter of cayenne pepper. Now it has been boiling for 10 minutes. And now it's time to add a half lemon. I'm going to press that in. And I also gonna add 2.5 teaspoons of salt. And I also gonna add some more black pepper, maybe a teaspoon. And now we're gonna put this sauce into the chicken meat. And it's time to serve the dish. Now it's time to blend this a little bit so that the sauce coming into the meat. And now I'm gonna try this. I add some rice to this. And then a little bit of this. It's very generous amount of sauce. That's good. Very good. Now the chicken stock have boiled for 3 hours, and now it's time to strain it. And we see here we got 4 liter of chicken stock. Now I'm gonna save 6 deciliter of this chicken stock. Actually, I will save 7 deciliter because it's good to have margin. That was 5 deciliter, and then I'm gonna have 2 deciliter more. I will put this in the freezer when it have been cool. That was Swedish chicken curry. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.